Oh, somebody is asking what, aside from compensation, what should I be asking for at another firm? And that's a really good question because sometimes when we get to the end of the process with a partner candidate, and hopefully there are, say, three offers on the table, sometimes the person doesn't choose the one that has the highest salary point because there are other things that you may be looking for. So you want to think about what is unsatisfactory to you about your current firm. Are you looking for a leadership position? Would you like to come in and be the head of your group or at least the co-chair of your group? Or would you like a seat on the management or executive committee? Would you like to be the hiring partner or a shot at being the managing partner of your office someday? Do you need to move to another firm because you feel you're just not getting the marketing support that you need? So you want to make sure that that next firm has a great business development marketing team and you understand very well what they're going to be doing for you and how they're going to work with you to help in your efforts and what kind of monetary support you're getting for that. Is there a budget for your marketing? How about for those conferences you want to attend or the events that you like to sponsor that result in clients or, taking clients out or whatever it is? If you're somebody who has done some business development and gotten some pushback from your current firm, when you're going to a new firm, you want to make sure that if you think that business development activity is important, you mention it a little bit up front. Any of the major conferences you want to go to, the major travel you want to do, now that things are opening up again, those kind of questions could be relevant again. And you might want to ask about staffing because some people are kind of forced to move because they just can't get good associates or they can't keep them. They're at a firm that's not paying market or a firm that's working the associates too hard and they go somewhere else. You want to make sure you have enough associates on your team. So you want to ask about those kind of questions. And there are probably a whole host of other things. In the current environment, you might want to ask about whether you need to work from the office at all, or whether you can have a hybrid schedule, or some people would prefer to stay remote. You might want to make sure that they have offices in the places where you need them. But also, if they don't have an office in a geographic area that you feel you have a client need, you might ask the firm, look, if I'm going to agree to join your firm, I need to open a location in, whatever this area is. And you might be surprised, pleasantly surprised, because the firm may have already been thinking about that. We've been asked to help open offices in South Florida and in Texas and, in various different places. So if I were working with a candidate who expressed an interest in having an office in South Florida, for instance, I would know which firms already had offices there, but I would also know which firms were in heavy negotiations to open some. So that could be an issue. And sometimes rates are an issue. Sometimes a client really enjoys working with you and has a very high opinion of you and your skill set, but your firm raises the rates every January 1st. And after working with you for a number of years, it's gotten a lot more expensive. And every so often, it's the client that is the impetus for moving. The client comes to you and says, look, I can only use you for bet the company stuff now because your rate is so much higher than some of the other firms that we're using. If you moved somewhere else and your rate was a little bit lower, I might be able to use you for all of our everyday stuff too. I would love for your firm to be our go-to counsel. And so you would want to talk with your firm going in about being able to set the rate for that client and having some control over the rate. The same goes for, sometimes you're moving to a bigger platform, but to a firm that has higher rates, whether slightly or a lot higher. You obviously don't want to scare your current clients who are used to using you at a certain hourly rate. So you would want to negotiate with the new firm you're joining to either grandfather them in or only raise it slightly, or to be the one who sets your own rates. On the other side of that equation, if you feel like you could be charging more and your firm is undervaluing you, when you go to that next firm, if you can collect, the firm will let you charge as high as you want. They're just sometimes uncomfortable with you charging rates that are much, much lower from all the other lawyers at the firm. So you do want to discuss that on the way in.